Hello there. Hi. Sorry for the long intro there. Had to do some stuff right at the beginning of stream and it kind of messed everything up. But welcome in. Welcome back. Welcome to this, the 21st of September. Almost forgot what month it was. 2025. Hopefully you are doing well today. We are back today with an indie title called God's Basement. What that means, we will find out together. But from what I could tell, it's a few hours long. So if we have some time, we might check out another indie title. But we'll be checking out God's Basement, and then we'll be checking out potentially something else after that if we have time. There was a preload for Silent Hill F, so I don't know if tomorrow or what. I don't know when Silent Hill F's coming out, I'll be honest. I know when the hard release date is, basically, but I don't know when the 2-day early access is. It could be tomorrow night, it could be the Tuesday night. I don't know, man. They really... This is why I would rather there just not be early access, right? Like, I get that, like, it incentivizes people to buy, like, the bigger editions and stuff like that. But, like, just release the game on one day. Like, just do the game on one release, and then just do the time zone thing, so that way everybody knows when it releases for their time zone. Because it's like they have the time zone releases for everything, but then they have the 2-day early window for the time zones. But because the time zones, it's just, I don't know, because it's like technically it comes out on, I think, the midnight from the 24th to the 25th, right? So if that's the case, that would be the Wednesday to the Thursday. So 2 days before that would be the Monday to the Tuesday, right? So, and given that it's preloaded, that would mean, in theory, in like 26 hours, I would say, the game releases, right? Like, that makes the most sense for the early run of Silent Hill F. I don't know, man. I don't know. Although I was scrolling through Twitter so I could post the live thing, and someone was like, "This is the best Silent Hill of the series," and I'm like, "Hoo boy, I guess we're gonna start having those conversations, huh?" But yeah. Anyways, hey Lee, how you doing today? But yeah. Like I said, we're gonna be doing some indie games today. Just because I don't want to jump anything long form, because we will have Silent Hill either tomorrow night or the next night. I don't know. If it's not tomorrow night, then we'll play some more indie stuff. If it is tomorrow night, then of course we'll start Silent Hill F. Either way, we're gonna get some indie stuff in here. I have something planned for tonight and tomorrow night, so if we need to, we got stuff planned. But man, that just, it's so chaotic with this release. But preloads are out. If you pre-ordered Silent Hill F, at least on Steam, if it is pre-ordered on Steam, you can preload Silent Hill F right now. So go ahead and preload it, because I guarantee you there's probably going to be a whole bunch of people downloading that game over the next however many next few days for that. So be ready for that. Hey Boyd, how you doing? You can preload it now on Steam. I don't know about other platforms. I can just speak to Steam. Also, it was so funny. I saw people, they saw that you could get, like, bunny ears or whatever for the main character of Silent Hill F, and people were like, "This takes away from the horror. This is too goofy." And I'm like, have you played a Silent Hill game? I don't know, ever? Like, do you know about the Princess Beam and all of that? Do you know about the UFO endings, or the dog ending, or I don't know, basically any other than the basic endings? Like, I don't know. It's this game's gonna be the death of me. I realize, like, I think this being the first mainline... Also, I was wrong. Apparently, this is the first mainline in 13 years, not 11 years. I didn't realize Downpour didn't come out until 2012. I thought it was a bit later than that. So this is the first mainline since 2012. So it's been 13 years since we've had a Silent Hill. So, but, man, there's going to be... Like, I want new fans of the series, but man, there's going to be just such a muddled amount of information about this stuff and it's just gonna be like, oh my god, fishing, just trying to like work through this, because there's gonna be people that legitimately want to learn about Silent Hill, and there's gonna be people that are new to the series that are just like hopping on the hype, that are just going to just disseminate so much like misinformation about the series, about the characters, about everything. Like it probably happens with every Resident Evil release too. I don't follow that series as much, but it's just I realize that this game is going to be the death of me, because I'm just going to be like, that's not what that game's about. That's not what that character's about. Like, because it's just I don't know, man. It's crazy. So I already I'm mentally preparing for the conversations we're going to be having about Silent Hill F. And not just about like the game itself, just the things surrounding like the story potentially, and like the series, and all of that, because like I'm sure there's probably going to be some parallels. Maybe not some direct parallels, given that like Heather is a character in Western, like in a Western setting, versus I think her name's hello. Welcome in, Squeaky Mouse 87. Welcome in, Raiders. Thank you for the raid. I do appreciate it. You haven't missed anything. We're just getting started. But I do appreciate it. If you don't know what I do and who I am Askew Games. Do a variety of things here on the channel, mostly horror, mostly retro. Right now, we are just getting started talking about Silent Hill F, which is going to be releasing within this week. Not sure if the early access is releasing tomorrow night, Tuesday night, whatever. There's a 2-day early access if you bought the like deluxe edition or whatever. Not sure when that's releasing, because they only showed the release window for the actual day. So it says it starts at approximately 1 day, according to the thing. So I'm guessing that means tomorrow night. We will be able to play it. What's her name? Hinako. Yeah. No. Hinako. Hinako? I don't know. Anyways, just gotta play Crow Country. Nice. So it has Resident Evil 5. Yeah. It's a survival horror game. It's definitely pays homage to that stuff. But what was I talking about? Yeah, there's going to be parallels between the two main characters of, I think, like Silent Hill 3 and Silent Hill F. But I wholeheartedly expect people to completely miss what Silent Hill 3 is about, and then also completely miss what Silent Hill F is probably going to be about. So it's going to be, man, it is going to be a cluster of people with like some like limited media literacy, people with just like not understanding like the levels of topics, or people just completely misrepresenting like what those things represent, and it's gonna be a fun time. By the way, if you need a raid and run for any reason, get you some food, get you some water, take a nap, whatever it might be, just leave us a follow, catch us when you can. But I do appreciate the raid nonetheless. Like I said, we're just chatting here at the beginning of stream before we get into our game for the evening. But yeah, we're just hanging out. We're gonna be playing an indie game called God's Basement. Also, we are still rocking and rolling with Terrortober, which, if you don't know what Terrortober is, for the past 3 years, or this is our 3rd annual Terrortober, we have been playing nonstop horror games. We usually start October 1st, but decided to start a little early this year. We started with Code Veronica X, which we have now finished. We just finished playing Observer, and we will be checking out, you can see it right here, God's Basement. We might have time to play another indie title from this list, so you might see some more of that. But basically, from now until October 31st, it's going to be nonstop horror, which we play horror consistently throughout the year. It's just we're going to focus down on a bunch of stuff that we have never played before, because as you can see right here at the bottom of this announcement, they're all first playthroughs right there. Also, there is a super secret, obscure, retro horror game that we will be playing for the Raid Train. I do have those dates basically locked in. I will be doing an announcement very, very soon, probably next week, I will do an official announcement, and I will announce that on the channel. We will be part of the Crypt Community Raid Train. I will do, like I said, I'll do an announcement of that, and I'll tell you the game that we're playing for the Raid Train will be our secret obscure retro game. We'll also be playing it on Halloween. Now, if for some reason we beat the game early on the Raid Train or on Halloween and we have extra time, we'll play something else fun or whatever. But yeah, so we're gonna keep that secret until the Raid Train. But yeah, so I will do that announcement soon. But you can also see all of these other things that we'll be playing. We've got some retro games on here. We've got some big titles, like we have the whole Amnesia series. Of course, you see Silent Hill F, which we're talking about currently. Soma, again, have not played any of these games before. Yeah, you can see right there. Nightmare Creatures 1 and 2, also Blood Rain 1 and 2. I've never played those games before. They will be on original hardware, so they will be PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 respectively. Although I do play the PlayStation 1 games on the PS2. I don't play them on PlayStation 1, I play them on PS2. So I guess kind of original hardware, if you want to call it that, but they will be a physical copy, I guess is the best way of putting it. but there you go. But this is what Terror Trooper is about, if you're wondering. But yeah, so I don't know. Like I said, I saw the thing today where someone was like, this is the best Silent Hill in the series. And I'm like, ooh boy. Ooh boy. Because the thing is I don't mind people saying that, right? Like, if that's what they legitimately believe, that's great. You know, people are entitled to their opinion. I just worry that there's going to be a lot of people that have played the older games of the series, like the original Team Silent 4, or, you know, they played the Western ones, or like whatever. You know, like people have played different versions of different ones, and they're going to just get in these like different disagreements and like kind of like, I don't know, polarize the community and be like, oh, well, you guys aren't real fans because you didn't play the original Team Silent ones, or you guys don't know what you're talking about because you haven't played the OG8. And it's just like, I don't know. I'm just worried that there's going to be a lot of people just being really crappy about this one coming out. So it always happens with long-running series, I feel. But first day getting out at 9 p.m. got stuck on a call an hour past your shift. Yikes. As long as they're paying you for it, though. Sometimes you just gotta take that extra pay, though. But yeah, I just worry that people are gonna play this one and really like it, and then people are gonna be like, yeah, but it's not like the OG ones, and you don't know what it was like. And it's just gonna be like, who cares, man? Who cares? Like just to play some of the OG ones, is like hundreds of dollars in some cases, right? Like, no one should have to pay hundreds of dollars just to play the beginning of the series, right? Like, it's just, I don't know. I just worry. Like, I want more fans of the series. I want more people playing Silent Hill. I want more people talking about Silent Hill, because that'll incentivize them, hopefully, to make at least ports of this series. Like, I still want ports of the OG games. Like, we have a port on PC now of Silent Hill 4 that's complete through GOG, which is the last Team Silent one. The PC ports of, like, Homecoming and Downpour are kind of wonky. They need some fixing. And then, you basically can't play Shattered Memories on PC at all. There's no PC, as far as I know, there's no PC ports of 1, 3, Shattered Memories, Origins. So, like, there's a lot of Silent Hill that's just inaccessible, but, like, in comparison, like, Resident Evil, you could play basically all of the Resident Evils on PC, right? So, you could play the original 3 OGs through GOG. You could play the remakes through Steam. You could play 4 through 8 on Steam, both OG and Remake 4. So, like, in comparison, it would be nice to see Konami finally jump on the train to, like, put actual, like, usable ports of stuff onto, like, PC, so people can go back and actually play through the OG series. That's good. Honestly, that's more of my hope for Silent Hill F, is less that, like, it's, like, the best game in the world. Like, don't get me wrong, I want it to be an excellent game, but I hope it's enough to incentivize Konami, which has never been a good company about doing basically anything. Again, this is the same company that basically kidnapped one of their developers and said, you can't go to an awards ceremony to get awards. You also can't go sign video games. Konami's not a great company. There's a lot of companies that aren't a great company, by the way. Just to throw that out there. Like, before anybody jumps on the bandwagon, be like, Konami's great. They're really not. If you don't know that story, basically, when Metal Gear Solid 5 won, like, I think, like, Game of the Year, or at least won some awards, they refused to let Kojima go accept that award. So if you go back and watch that awards ceremony, Kiefer Sutherland, which I believe is the voice for one of the characters in Metal Gear Solid 5. I don't know if it's Snake or whatever. I haven't played the series. But he's a voice for one of the characters in that game. He had to accept the award because Konami refused to let Kojima out of Japan. Yeah. So, great company. Anyways, so it's one of those that's like, they also wouldn't let Kojima go to like public events and like sign, I think, copies of Metal Gear Solid 5. So what he did is he just went out on his free time and went to local game stores and signed copies of Metal Gear Solid 5. Because it turns out when he's outside of the business, there's not really much they could do. Yeah, there's a very logical reason why Kojima left Konami, and it wasn't because, you know, they were just bad bosses. It was because they were literally probably breaking law. Like, I'm surprised he doesn't have lawsuits against them for the stuff that they were doing to him. But I don't know. I don't know Japanese law, so maybe there was something that they could use for that stuff. But anyways, it was kind of ridiculous. But again, my hope is maybe Konami's finally transitioned out of that mindset into at least to a mindset where they can be like, hey, maybe we should start porting over our old stuff to, you know, PC so that the players can play Silent Hill 1 and 2 and 3 and, you know, and all of these and stuff. Because the thing is like, you would think that, like, oh, well, they couldn't port Shattered Memories over because Shattered Memories is a Wii game. Well, it's got a PS2 port, right? So technically you could. Fingers crossed, yeah. I mean, I try to maintain hope, right? Like, I try to maintain hope that, like, one, that the games that we play, the games that we're excited for, I try to hope that they are good, right? I don't ever want to come in pessimistically. I've seen that a lot in the community. Whenever there's, like, a new game or a new step in the franchise or a new remake of the franchise or, you know, whatever it might be, you know, whenever I see that stuff, there's a good, you know, maybe like 30%, maybe more, of people that are just very pessimistic. Oh, it shouldn't be remade, or oh, it's just going to be bad, or blah, 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 right? They always have something negative to say about it. I always try to be the other side of the coin, right? I always try to be hopeful. You know, I look at it and go, that's interesting. We'll see how it turns out. Like, even if I don't really like look at it and like the vibe of it, there's always something different when you play it, right? Because there are certain games, and in fact, I think there's a lot of games where you can look at it and go, that doesn't look too good. And then once you actually play it, you're like, oh, I get it now, right? Because sometimes people play differently, right? Like, a perfect example is like the Souls games, right? A lot of people look at the Souls games and go, man, this looks like really wonky or really weird. But once you actually get your hands on a Souls game and you play it how you want to play it, it feels like a totally different experience than like whatever you're watching, right? And that's just one of the few types of experiences, right? Like, you see it with platformers, you see it with like puzzle games, right? Like, there's so many different types of games that, like, once you actually play it, you can start feeling like it's different. That's why I always try to approach upcoming things with hope, is because if I watch the developers play it, or they release a gameplay, or they release some sort of thing, and I look at it and go, I don't know. You know, I try to think in the back of my head and go, okay, well, that's how they're playing it, right? But that's not how I'm playing it. Is Shattered Memories... Yes, it is both a Wii and a PS2 game. It is a Wii and a PS2 game. The PS2 is a port. But it technically runs better and looks better on the Wii, but it is ported on PS2. The PS2 copy is worth, like, I want to say like $400 something now. The price of that keeps going up. It's crazy. Let's see. Shattered Memories. The current price of Shattered Memories on PS2 is $415. The Wii version is $90. It's about $91. Which a lot of these prices are going up, so the market tends to like go up and down. It's like a normal market. Horror games, basically, as soon as September starts happening, all horror game prices start to go way up because everyone's buying up all the horror games before October so that they can play them for October. And then basically all the prices will constantly go up all the way to Christmas because people are constantly buy. Like they're buying all the stuff for October, for, Christmas, all of that stuff. And then after Christmas, all of the prices start to go back down because people are selling the games that they've already beaten or, stuff like that. But it's it's an expensive game. But yeah, it's a Wii game that got ported to PS2. I have both copies over there. I actually, believe it or not, I actually got the hey, welcome in, Hope and Raiders. I got the PS2 copy for $20. Got it for $20 before the market. But let's see what you were up to. Hope was playing some. I believe I saw Hope was playing some remake. Silent Hill 2 remake, right? Yeah, Silent Hill 2 remake. The stream is being invaded by cats and UFO ships. Oh no. Sounds like a lot of fun. What were you doing Silent Hill 2 remake? Were you doing any sorts of challenges, or were you just doing another run preparing for Silent Hill F? Also, welcome in everybody. If you don't know who I am or what I do, I am Massive Games, play a variety of games here on the channel, mostly horror, mostly retro. We are in the middle of Terrortober. If you don't know what Terrortober is, it is a non-stop from now until October 31st horror-focused game thing. We do usually play horror games year-round, but from now until October 31st, we are playing horror games. We have played through Code Veronica, and we just finished Observer a couple days ago. Tonight, we will be playing God's Basement. Welcome in Eel Dragon and Comey Burn. I'm guessing that's how you say that. Welcome in. Hopefully you guys are doing well. But yeah, we're going to be playing God's Basement. And if we have a little extra time, we'll probably play something else. But yes, so these are all the games we plan on playing for Terrortober. We've got some indie titles. We've got some retro titles. You can see Nightmare Creatures 1 and 2 and Blood Rain back there. But hopefully you're doing well over there with Hope. Hope, another member of the Crypt stream team, very good friend of the channel. How's your birthday month going, by the way, Hope? Happy birthday. I think I missed your birthday stream, unfortunately, but so definitely go give Hope a follow if you haven't. Also go show us some love because I do believe it is Hope's birthday month. I think her birthday was a few days ago, right? It was like 2 or 3 days ago. I believe I missed the stream, unfortunately, but I do remember it was a few days ago. So happy birthday, happy belated birthday. Hopefully, trying to get another ending, but you're sleepy. Yeah, the prison can be a bit annoying. But yeah. So hopefully you're doing well. If you need Raynor for any reason, get you some food, get you some water, or just take a nap. I completely understand. Just throw us a follow and catch us when you can. Again, we are actually doing a new schedule. We are doing evening streams. For the past 4.5 years, we've actually been doing morning streams, so we're kind of trying out a new schedule with evenings here. It was on the 17th. Oh, okay. So it was like 4 days ago? It was on Wednesday. Okay. We're just vibing through the month. Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate you coming in, and again, happy belated birthday. We always try to, whenever I see this stuff, I try to remember that stuff, But hopefully it went well. Hopefully you're doing well. And if you need to, like I said, if you need to go get you some sleep, go get you some sleep. We do appreciate the support as always. But we're just chatting. Silent Hill F's coming out this week, so obviously we're chatting about Silent Hill stuff before we get into our game for the evening, which will be this one right here, God's Basement. But there you go. But yeah, it's like I said, I'm hopeful for Silent Hill F, and I hope it's good. I hope it does well enough that it like incentivizes Konami to go, hey, let's do some ports, right? Let's do some good ports and fix the ports that we have, right? Like, and like just so people can play the OG games, because like there is the enhanced edition, um, of 2 that you can download, which is basically just the HD version of 2. OG2.
You're crazy.
I appreciate the follow. We do anonymous follows here. If you like a personalized thank you, just say, hey, I followed in chat. Otherwise, feel free to keep lurking. Also, if you don't know what that's from, that is from Clock Tower 2. That is Bates booting Stephanie in the face. I love our follower notification. I don't catch it all the time, but but I do I do catch it sometimes out of the corner of my eye. Yeah, we've got to go back and play through the Clock Tower. That is one of the series that we're gonna do a full series playthrough of again. We started that. We did Clock Tower Rewind. We got to Clock Tower 2. Unfortunately, we got soft locked essentially. There is in the game, so you basically have to start the whole game over again. So we started that back in last November. So I'm like, we're probably going to end up just doing the whole Clock Tower series again. We'll probably try to go for the true ending, or like the best ending for Clock Tower 1, which is Clock Tower Rewind. And then we'll probably get back through the Clock Tower series, because we do have all of the Clock Towers. So I do have all of them physical, which is also another very expensive series I wish they would make ports of. But I'm wanting to get in that series. Yeah, it's an interesting series. There's not many of them, but they're just very expensive. Like it's interesting because I try to play a lot of my games, or most of my games, physical when we play retro stuff. But it's just I always tell people, like, because people are like, should I buy this game? And it's just like most of the time the answer is just like no, because like a lot of these games are like 3 hours long, but they're worth like $400, $300, $200, and it's like, unless you're gonna play this game a lot, $200 is a lot to ask for a 3-hour game, right? Like, that's just, for me, I don't really think there's many games that are worth more than $100, right? It's really hard to ask more than $100 for a game. Like, at least like for people that make content and stuff, it's a little bit easier because you can replay the game and make more content, or your content can be like viewed again, and that can turn into some sort of like income or something, right? You can get ad revenue from it, you can get subs from it, you can get, like YouTube, whatever from it, right? So there's stuff you can get to kind of like recoup the losses if you want to view it that way, right? But when you're just like buying it to play it for yourself, it's really hard to be like, yeah, let me spend $400 on a game. Like we were just talking about Shattered Memories on the PS2 is $415. It's like that, you can beat that game in like a sitting, which is like 5 or 6 hours, right? Like yikes. That's why we talk a lot about game preservation and stuff, because like if we could get ports of those on PC, paying 30, 40, even $50 for a port of that stuff is so much more valuable than, paying $400 for a disc, because it's like, even if you just play it once, $40 for a 5-hour experience is fine. Paying $400 for a 5-hour experience is insane. Basically got a PS5 for Short Message, which is free. Yeah. Again, like Short Message, that to me is crazy. Like, what I would have done, what would have been really cool for them to do is if they would have, like, in preparation for Silent Hill F. I was actually talking about this when I saw them do a Silent Hill F. What they should have done in preparation for Silent Hill F is they should have done a cross-platform release of Short Message to get people hyped for Silent Hill F, right? But it's just like, it's locked to PS5. Like, we played it. I recently got a PS5 before the costs exploded because of the tariffs and everything. But like, yeah, it's crazy that like that's like, also like, even though it's not canon or really attached to anything anymore, like PT doesn't even exist anymore unless you have it on a PS4. Like, if you do not have it on a PS4, it doesn't exist. Silent Hill Townfall. heard anything. Yeah, I don't. I'm pretty sure they're waiting to see what happens with Silent Hill F before they do anything with Townfall. Because I don't think Ascension really turned out how they thought it was going to turn out. Ascension really kind of like exploded in their face, unfortunately. And also they're probably waiting on the movie. Like I think their focus right now is Silent Hill F and the movie. Once they get those out, I think they'll probably see where they go with the next projects. But honestly, I think Silent Hill F, unless there's just something like really wrong with it, I think Silent Hill F will do fine. Like, I think people are still clamoring for something new in the horror genre. Like you have people waiting for there's so many like indie titles that are showing people we want more survival horror, we want, you know, more horror games, because I think what's happened is horror kind of exploded with, you know, back like 10 years ago, right? With all of the like Five Nights at Freddy's and the independent scene. And then people started like, I think people have started kind of transitioning out of that and looking for like longer form horror experiences, which is where like survival horror really shines. Because like survival horror can have scares, but it focuses more on like long-term tension, right? Whereas like your you know, shorter form like Five Nights at Freddy's or your trying to think, what's another like shorter series, like the mascot horror games, right? Like the Poppy's Playtime stuff like that, right? Like those are like bite sized. They're like hour long experiences, right? So I think people are still looking for like longer form. So we're starting to see like your Silent Hill 2 being 12 hours, Chronos being like 12 hours, even though those are made by the same people, obviously, you know. And I think Silent Hill F is supposed to be anywhere from like 12 to 15 hours. You have the Fatal Frame games, which are longer form, the newer games, but I think those came out, I want to say like 6 years ago or something like that. So I don't know. It's interesting. I think people are still, again, clamoring for some stuff. Again, it's been 13 years since we've had a mainline. I was saying 11 years. Apparently, it's been 13 since we've had a mainline Silent Hill game. So we will see what people think about it, and two, like what that really means for the advancement of the series. I'm very interested to see why they decided to go with calling this one F. Like, I think from like a branding standpoint, I really don't like that this one's called F. Like, that's probably my one gripe, is just the title of this one. Because it's like, you have like Silent Hill 1 through 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. And technically 4 is called The Room as well. Then you have Shattered Memories, Origins, Homecoming, and Downpour. And then this one's just called F. like obviously there's probably going to be a reveal at the end what F stands for. Dead Space remake was good. Yeah, I haven't played any of the Dead Spaces. Like, it's been a while since like I really looked at those. Like Dead Space, I don't know. When I was originally looking at Dead Space, I wasn't really vibing with the like sci-fi zombie nature of it, but F is for friendship. It might be. F might be for friendship. It might also be for fear. But I don't know. Well, I might go back eventually and do the Dead Space games. I just remember, like, what I found interesting is like a lot of people were like really didn't like Dead Space 3. But it's interesting now because like I've listened to people talk about the Dead Space series, and most of the people that talk about it now are like, yeah, Dead Space 3 is okay. But when Dead Space 3 like originally released, like there was just so much like there was so much hate for it. And it's always interesting like looking at series in hindsight, because there's a lot of games that like get so much like hate when they release, and then like 5 years down the road either become beloved or people are just like, yeah, they're fine. It's just like 5 years ago you said this was the worst thing on the planet. Now you're just okay with it. Like, I don't know. It's weird seeing that. that's why a lot of times when I like talk to people about stuff, I try to look at like how they really discuss their likes and their dislikes, because I think there's a lot of people that unfortunately they just do those like flash in the pan kind of like, oh, this is everything that's going, everyone's saying that this is garbage, I say this is garbage, get the clicks, get the views, move on. But they don't really like articulate like their experience with the game. Like there's nothing wrong with disliking something, but like we talked about that I think this last stream, but like talk about why you dislike it, so that way like we can know like why. But a lot of people just go like, this is bad, and they just move on. Right, and then that's why, like, later on, they're like, it was okay, right? It's interesting, because, like, I was thinking about Silent Hill 2 Remake, recently, and I was like, like, when I was playing it, I didn't think it was too bad, but thinking back to it, like, I think, overall, I didn't really, like, find too much that I, like, loved about the game, but I didn't find too much I disliked about the game, right? Some fans saying the F stands for Forte. Really? That seems like a weird... Like, I mean, it does have that... Like, it is like a serif, or... Yeah, it's like a serif font, so it has the little, like, hooks on it. So... I don't know. Again, we'll probably figure that out. I haven't read too much on it because I'm trying not to spoil anything. Like I just now saw what the main character's name was, like literally today on the store page. That's how much I'm avoiding spoilers. Like, so I am trying to stay as far away from learning anything about the game as possible. So I haven't looked at any fan theories. I haven't looked at any like anything. Not known, but term. Yeah. I get what you're saying. Yeah, the yeah, I get it. You're all good. That's all you know about it. Yeah, I don't know. Well, obviously we'll find out. I hope my biggest hope though is because there was a talk that it's going to be like a very triggering game. And we ran into a thing with Bloober Games recently. My biggest hope is that they approach the topics that they're probably going to approach with this character with some decorum. Because I'm very worried that they're going to not... I'm trying to figure out how to say this. They're going to take a very surface level like discussion on what this might be talking about, and I think that's going to do a disservice, but we'll see. Silent Hill has been pretty good, I would say, overall on managing its discussions of stuff. So, and since this is done, I would say in-house, my hope's pretty good for it. But we recently played through the medium again. We played through Observer. We played through Chronos, and I've realized that like the problem I had with like a lot of the Bloober Team games, which is got me kind of concerned for them working on the remake of Silent Hill 1, is they're really terrible at making endings. Like their endings are very, very poorly done. The game themselves are fine, except Observer. Observer plays very poorly. The story of Medium is very poorly done, but the game itself was fine to play. I don't know. So, I don't know. I'm a little concerned about Silent Hill 1, now that I've gone back and played those, but we'll see. But yeah, Silent Hill, I don't know. It's one of those, like I said, I always try to approach it with hope, and I like, we keep hearing good things, but again, when it's always weird when you hear the review stuff and people are like, this game's great, it's like, are you saying that because the game's good? Are you saying that because you got an early copy of the game? Are you saying that because that's what you're expected to say, right? Like, it's so hard with like review copies, right? Because there's some companies that are just like thumbs up. It's a company that we always say is good, so it has to be good, right? Because that happened a lot in like the 2000s, where people would like they would just like it doesn't matter what that company like actually put out, they would always be like, this is an 8 out of 10 game, 9 out of 10 game. And then you'd go and you'd play these games, and it's like they weren't bad, right? Like they weren't like the worst thing on the planet, but they were definitely not as good as they were being sold to be. So I always worry that when I see these like, this is the best in the series, or this is the highest rank they've ever given something from this series, I'm like, are they doing that because it's like the first in the series for 13 years? Are they doing that because they actually liked the game? Are they doing that because they got paid a lot of money to do that? Like, because like there's a lot of people that are struggling right now, and if someone walked up and it was like, hey, I'll slide you a cool 10K, you give us that, 94 out of 100, and that's yours, right? Like, it's hard to know, right? Not that people's, I'm pushing people's morality or anything. It's just it happens, right? It happens, and it's just an unfortunate side effect of the world we live in. So it always concerns me when I see that stuff, because I'm just like, man, I hope this is not just a case of, we have to do this thing because that's what's expected, right? But welcome in, Jason. But yeah, like I said, I'm excited for Silent Hill F. I've tempered my expectations overall, because again, I've kept my eyes pretty closed on like what to expect from the gameplay, from the story, from all of that. So like I don't know what to expect from any of that, so that way I can just keep my expectations pretty low and just not expect it to be like, oh, it's gonna play like Downpour, or it's gonna play like Shattered Memories, or it's gonna not play like anything else. It's gonna be a play like obviously there was I've heard the discussions of like people like, oh, it's gonna play like a Souls-like, and then the developers were like, it's not a Souls-like. So thankfully I did hear that, at least where the developers themselves are like, it's not a Souls-like, which I don't have a problem with Souls-likes, but I do know though there's a lot of people that do. And my thing is like, I've talked about it before. I don't think I personally do not subscribe to the gaming design philosophy that difficult makes good. I know there's a lot of people that do, especially in today's gaming spaces. So like, I hope the game has difficulty settings. I hope it has accessibility settings. Like, I know this is like setting the bar on the floor, but like, it's 2025, right? Have difficulty settings, have accessibility settings, have the ability to turn motion blur off, have the ability to turn head bob off, have this stuff in there, please. Like, and of course we're gonna play an indie game, and we'll see if this indie game has this. Like, now God's Basement came out in like 2018, so it's also 7 years old. Jesus. But so we'll see. But that's the thing that we talked about a lot too, because somebody was asking, or somebody was talking about, I don't remember who it was mentioning that like they really, really do prefer like retro games over modern games. And I was like, well, there's something that modern games have that like a lot of retro games don't, and that's like accessibility settings, right? So like when you're playing with a controller, for example, in retro games, there's retro games that do have it, but very, very rarely, where you can rebind buttons, right? And that might not sound like a big deal, but for people that have like issues with their hands, or some sort of like mobility issues, or some people that just can't use a keyboard, whatever it might be, right? You need bindings, right? That helps those people. That's an accessibility option that people don't think about, right? So rebinding buttons, turning things off like motion blur or head bob or any of that kind of stuff. Like, that stuff is not present in retro games, right? So, it's one of those things that like modern gaming does have the ability to be more accessible to more people. So as much as we love retro games, there are some things that like we want to see in our modern games that we can't get from our retro games. We have to have those discussions about accessibility as well. So when we talk about things like, oh, this game is, super difficult, and that's just how it's built, and you have to get good to play it, that's not always a good philosophy, in my opinion. Like, there's nothing wrong with wanting more players to experience in your game and just having a super easy mode, right? perfect example is, now they didn't have it on release, but Alan Wake 2, they have a one-shot mode. You literally can turn on a mode where you can't die within a few. I think there's a few ways you could die, like falling off of something or whatever. But you could also turn on a mode where basically everything except like bosses can die in one shot. So you could just literally be like bang, 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 right? Because Alan Wake 2 is a very, very story-driven game. They want people to experience that story, so they just put it in there where you could turn on and off invincibility, one shots, all of that stuff. Another one that caused like the Souls community to flip, or some of the Souls community to flip their lid, was Lies of P. Lies of P put in 2 easy modes. They put in a slightly easier and then a much easier, right? They put in easy and I don't remember what they called it, but basically there's 2 easier modes in Lies of P now. And some people like lost their mind over that. Like, why would you put in easy modes? It's not a real Souls game if you don't beat it on the hard or whatever. It's like, who cares, right? Lies of P is just a really good game with a lot of really good story and a really good, like, really good written characters, really good designed areas. Like, there's a lot to you want to experience in that. Why would you not want more people to experience that, right? So my hope is and the thing is a lot of the Silent Hill games, I'm not sure about all of them, but I know most of them do have combat difficulty and puzzle difficulty, right? So you can adjust those. And my recommendation for a lot of the Silent Hill games as well is to change the combat difficulty, especially when you get done like Homecoming and Downpour. Those games get really tedious even on normal. Just change the difficulty to easy. Enjoy those stories, enjoy those worlds. Enjoy in quotations. There are still messed up worlds that still mess with your heads, but you get what I'm saying. It's a video game, you're supposed to have fun with it. That's what I mean by enjoy. But like, I don't know. So there might be some people that disagree with that, and that's fine, right? That's 100% okay. Like, if you want your game to be super difficult all the time, there are games out there for you. But I don't think every game should be like that. I think there should be, subgenre of games that can do that, but I don't think that those types of games really... I don't think those games really lose anything if they offer the option to be easier. Now, if they force themselves to be easier, if they make the games easier, that's different. Then you can have a discussion on like, okay, now they're making a harder game easier, right? But like, if you just make it an option, the people that want the super hard game, they can play the super hard game. The people that want the super easy game can play the super easy game, and they're both playing the game, right? I saw a thing on TikTok today where somebody was mentioning, like, there's some people that get upset when people use like mods and cheats in single player games. Obviously, if you use cheats in multiplayer games, that's no good. No, we don't like ruining other people's fun or other people's experiences. But like single player games, who cares, right? Mod your game to have fun. Right? There's a lot of games that actually, like, they're built around the concept of having mods or having, the old school games had cheats built into them for very specific reasons. But like, so, I saw that and I was like, yeah, I guess there would be some subset of people that are like, oh, you're using cheats, you're not actually playing the game. And it's like, dude, you paid your money to play the game. As long as you're not ruining someone else's experience, who cares? Who cares? I don't know. I think it's just because we live in a day and age where everybody's seeing so much of everybody else's experience with games, right? Everybody's talking about their experience with X game or Y game, and then they're putting that online, and then someone's talking about, well, you're not doing this, so their opinions of getting put that, and then someone talking about that. Like, there's just so much of this crosstalk about how people are doing and what people are doing in gaming that I think people forget that, like, the whole point is just to have fun. Like, if people want to play their game in super easy mode all the time, that's fine. That's why super easy mode exists. If there's people that want to play their game in super hard mode all the time, that's fine. That's what super hard mode exists for, right? Like, I think it's just weird that, like, sometimes people just forget that, like, they don't have to, like, butt heads about that. They could just be like, yeah, I can't do that. That's just not for me, right? And they can just move on. So, again, that's just one thing I hope from Silent Hill F, is that if they are going to make this, like, more combat focused, because I did hear the term action horror thrown around from the devs. If there is going to be more action, more combat, I do hope that they have a difficulty setting for it, because Chronos, for example, does not have a difficulty setting, which is a game that just came out. It's Bloober Team's new game, which is basically kind of their spin on like a Dead Space-esque kind of thing. That doesn't have a difficulty set. Well, technically it does. Once you beat the game, you unlock a hard mode, which is just the game but harder. Cool. But some people are finding the game kind of difficult. But it doesn't have like an easier mode. So, like, again, I would prefer that the game have an easier mode. So I'm hopeful Silent Hill F, maybe we'll see an easy, normal, hard, like a normal Silent Hill game. We'll see how they handle puzzles. Again, puzzles are almost inherent to the Silent Hills in a lot of cases. In fact, Shattered Memories is completely puzzles, because there is no combat in that game, which, again, a lot of people were upset about. But we'll see. We'll see what they go with that. But we've been talking for almost an hour, so I think we're going to go ahead and jump into our game for the night, which is God's Basement. So let me go ahead and turn our music off, and then we will switch over here, and we'll get into God's Basement. Whatever that means for us. Give me a second to capture this. Rebus. Subtitles on. See, this is another good thing. Subtitles. Make sure you have subtitles. Complete, finish, save changes. Okay. Finalize. Okay. All right. All right. For now, God's Basement. Use the interact key. Default is E, but you can change in the pause menu. If you get stuck, you aren't sure what you're supposed to do, use the hints found in the pause menu. Hint is automatically given if you stay inside an area for more than 3 minutes. Okay, so they have auto hints and 3. Oh, Jesus, that sensitivity. Can we change that? Camera. Sensitivity, yes. That does not tell me the number. Okay, so that number does not change. Oh, it only changes when I do 7. Okay. Okay, that's a little bit better. Motion blur off. This is literally what I was talking about. Head bob off. See? Good job on the devs. Hopefully this actually does turn them off and doesn't just say it turns them off. Okay, doesn't. It looks like it does work. Okay. By the way, if you don't know why these need to exist, motion blur is what happens when you turn. What it does is it smears frames. This happens in normal life. If you turn your head really fast, it will smear. Your eyes do this normally. However, when it happens in video games, this can cause people to have motion sickness. So disabling this for your viewers can help them not get motion sickness. Head bobbing, same thing. Basically, this is the character bobbing up and down. I'll show you what I mean. So if you watch the character, whenever we take a step, you see how the head's moving? This one's actually going back and forth, which is even worse. And now you see the head's not moving. That will also cause motion sickness. So I recommend that if you are streaming and you're playing games that have this kind of stuff, chromatic aberration is another thing. This is we're also going to turn off fisheye. Fisheye can very rarely, but fisheye can also cause motion sickness. Chromatic aberration, this can work against people that have like epilepsy and stuff. This one you don't see as often, but it can happen. I said most head bobs I appreciate. Yeah, no, I recommend, again, if you're a streamer, look for these options whenever you open a game. Chromatic aberration, not as big of a deal. This one can cause eye strain just in general. But head bobbing, very important. Motion blur, very important. These two, head bobbing is almost a guarantee. I always, it's a first person game, I'm always looking for head bobbing. This one is almost a guaranteed motion sickness for a lot of people. So I almost always I don't, the only game I know that has ever given me motion sickness, there's two. One is Warframe. I used to play a lot of Warframe. I don't know what it is now. I think it's because my vision's going out. But I can't play Warframe anymore because it gives me motion sickness. And then there was the puzzle at the end. You had to like do a puzzle around a pillar at the end of The Witness. That gave me motion sickness. I had to have chat solve that puzzle for me because otherwise I was going to throw up on stream. It was not a good time. So I don't usually get motion sickness, but I do know a lot of people that do. So I usually just turn this off for the viewing experience. So I do recommend, if you are a streamer, at least at the very, very least, try to turn head bobbing off. So, not every game will have this. I prefer developers have that. But yeah. Okay, we are not... Okay. There we go. Is this for PC streamers? Yes, this is for PC. I mean, sometimes they will have this setting for console streamers as well. You could find this... This setting is in any... It can be for any game. So, this will be in any game. You can find that stuff. Also, subtitles. Subtitles for people that are hard of hearing. I can't find it in here, but we saw it earlier. It's probably under, yeah, language. Subtitles for people that are hard of hearing is definitely a go. I actually have closed captions for the channel, by the way, if you see those. You can turn those off. They also have dyslexia-friendly fonts, which is why I leave the extension on there for you guys. So you can check that out there. All right. Oh, we gotta zoom. Okay, we don't have a crouch. We don't have a jump. That sensitivity is still way too high. Okay, that's better. Now, I will say, sometimes when you turn motion blur off, it will sometimes show screen tearing, so you have to make sure you do your, like, VSync and stuff. Congratulations, you're dead. Okay. Thanks. Sorry, we still love you. Here's your trophy. Where are you exactly? You only stream on PS5? Yeah, sometimes games will have them... you see it a lot more in first-person games, but yeah. This place is called Gosmic. I'm wondering where everyone is. You'll meet them soon enough. Last thing, you can't leave. Need to interact. Oh, interesting. Okay, so this is... Due to the nature of updating the game, you can lose your progress after update is concurred. It'd be very inconvenient for you. For someone who has already played through the entire game and like to revisit certain parts of the game, use the buttons below if you like to unlock all the levels within the game or reset your progress. Oh, that's nice. So they have a... That's a nice feature. I actually like that. So if it's like, oh, we ran an update and it broke your save, you can just unlock the chapters. That's really cool. That's very good on the devs. I don't know why the static is there, though. That's very strange for these TVs to have that static. That's very cool that they have like a, hey, we'll just unlock the chapter so you can continue from where you left off. Okay, looks like there's 11 chapters. So we're going to go ahead and select chapter 1. Load game. Alright. So we are working a desk job, I guess. We died at our desk. No, okay, we're standing up, okay. It's a cat! Oof. Okay, so this is a toggle. The zoom is a toggle. Important. So important, I basically can't read it. This skip is suitable for general waste only. The horror, yeah. Actually, yeah, you're mentioning PS5. We played this on PS5, Observer, and I'm pretty sure it had head bob as a setting. So, yeah, again, modern games will usually tend to have some sort of toggle that you can do. Okay. Welcome to... Okay, we read that already. Okay, doesn't look like we can leave. I hear the phone. Welcome back from ads. Alright, I guess we gotta answer the phone.
Hello, and welcome to God's Basement, a place for special individuals such as yourself. I realize that you may be a bit confused at the moment.
I've been streaming with that for
but
long.
don't
Yeah,
worry,
it's a little stuff you
everything
learn.
will be explained soon. You might not be able to remember everything about your past just yet, but those memories will return soon.
Okay, so we don't know about our
You might be
past.
wondering who else is here, but you'll meet the inhabitants of God's basement soon enough.
Ominous.
I know that I might seem suspicious.
Yes.
But for now, I'm going to need you to trust me.
Not gonna
Whenever
happen.
you're ready, exit the room and keep walking until you find the room with the blue light.
Blue light. Got it.
From there, I'll provide further instructions. Also, if you see or hear anything strange or unusual, ignore it to the best of your ability. I'll talk to you once you reach the
That's not gonna happen.
area. Good luck.
Alright. Strange or unusual, ignore it. Not gonna happen. But you can tell us. But yeah. I didn't know you streamed Squeaky Mouse. Let me go ahead and throw you a follow. We always love following new people. Throw you a follow. There you go. But yeah. Yeah, little settings like that can make it a better viewing experience. We talk a lot about accessibility on the channel, and there's a lot of people that deal with a lot of stuff. Like I said, I try to make sure we almost always have subtitles for our games. I myself am hard of hearing, but subtitles are always just helpful. So if people can't, if they can't, listen, if they can't get audio for whatever reason, they can at least read. That's why I have captions for the channel as well. I used to stream in the mornings, which means that some people couldn't listen at work, but they can watch. What's this say? God's Basement Guy. Welcome to the afterlife. Don't remember everything. Your memories will return shortly. Lastly, trust the operator. I guess that's who was on the phone. But also there's people that like myself that have a hard of hearing, so it helps with being able to do that. Okay, so we have grandfather, grandmother, father, mother. Okay, so we are James Young. Door doesn't open. Two dead in fatal crash. Fatal crash occurred last weekend. Reports say elderly couple along with their infant grandson were driving along Interstate Highway. The driver lost control. Vehicle swerved the road. Driver, an elderly retired man, Frank Young, was killed in the accident with his infant grandson, Kevin Young. Only survivor of the crash, Margaret Young, of stable condition. Okay. This is also good to have as a thing you can see here. Only survivor of the crash, Mark Young's sooner suggests alcohol may have been involved, but there was sufficient evidence to properly conclude the suspicion. Okay. So our grandfather and grandmother got in a wreck, and our brother and our grandfather died, is what we're supposed to get from that. So now our father, mother, and grandmother and ourselves are still alive? Is that what we're supposed to get from that? Elderly couple and their infant grandson, yeah. Okay, so grandma and grandpa and brother are now dead, but we are still alive as of that article. He said head to the room with the blue light. There's no blue light here. I don't see a blue light. Oh, maybe we're supposed to, like, mark out... Okay, maybe not. That door is not open. Okay. Water? Nope. Can't interact with that. Ah. Trust the operator. Maybe I have to read everything? Is there something else I can read? Hmm. Operator, there is no blue light. Friend, I've been lied to. Okay, I can pick that up and it doesn't do anything. Okay, so there was a hint. Let's try a hint. Turn on the television. What? That's not what he told me to do. Is it? I guess he told me... Yeah, maybe he did tell me to turn on the television. Is that what the remote's for? Oh. It says use object. I try to use... Oh. Okay. Okay, so we're looking for a bunny rabbit. Oh. The bunny rabbit's further away. Ah, a key for the store. Got it. Okay, so that's what it's going to be. There's going to be like hidden interactions and stuff. Got it. Okay. Now we understand how the game works. That's fine. It said ignore distractions. Well, we're not doing that, which means we're probably going to get jump scared 7 million times. What was that? Yeah, I can't. Let's say View Sun 2. Not a View Sun 2. Oh, well, we need the hammer, obviously. Okay, there's the door with the blue light. God's basement. Got it. Oh, I gotta hold the...
If you are new to God's basement, trust the operator. He will guide you.
Sure he will. Uh-huh. I believe that wholeheartedly. Top secret, you say? Is God's basement hell? Wait, there was something... Why is there just gunk on the floor like this? Maybe. Yeah, maybe it is. Also, did someone slam that door? Hello? Rude. I don't want to. You can't make me. Open the door. Nope. I'm leaving. Fine.
I see you found your way to the Blue Room. I hope you didn't have too much trouble finding it.
I did, because of the TV.
By the way, I forgot to mention who I am. Just call me the operator for now. It's not an official name, but I find it quite catchy.
What's the official name?
You're
Satan?
making great progress so far. We've been having some issues with the lights recently, so you'll need a flashlight.
Will I?
There's one in the next room on a table.
Uh-huh, sure there is.
Next to a radio. It'll be quite handy in the upcoming areas. I know that this may not be what you expected, but the truth is, there are many versions of life after death, and God's basement is one of them. Thank you for trusting me. Your cooperation is greatly appreciated. Once again, if you run into anything suspicious or strange, ignore it to the best of your ability.
What if something strange runs into me? Can I throw hands with it?
Good luck.
Also, if it's God's basement, you think God would could afford better lighting? Put it on the table next to the radio. Yep. Yep. So about that, there's no radio, and there's no flashlight, which means I get to go in here. Ah. Dear Mother, sorry I haven't been answering your calls. I know it wasn't your fault, but losing Kevin and Dad has taken a toll on all of us. Okay, so something happened to Dad. Just need some time to grieve and accept what happened. Uh-huh. Yep. The Secrets. 1971. Nice. Dangerous. We're dead.
Dangerous. Your memories from your past life are still probably blurry, but they'll start coming back shortly. For the time being, make your way down through the hallway. I highly advise you not to spend too much time looking around. If anything makes an attempt to get your attention,
ignore it. Got it.
To the best of your ability. If you see anything or anyone approach you, do whatever is necessary to avoid contact with that entity. Most importantly, do not, I repeat, do not acknowledge their existence.
Okay. Don't acknowledge them. Don't touch them.
You should be just fine. Give me a minute or two to unlock the door. Once the screen shows that it is unlocked, you may proceed. I'll see you again soon. Good luck.
This flashlight is garbage, dude. Yep, saw that coming. Can I close this door? God did not forgive me? fun. That sounds like yep. Yep. Okay. Operator. We have a problem. This is a dead end. Operator. This is not how this was before. Oh, I see. That. Hi there. How are you? You wouldn't happen to have the key for the store, would you? Oh, so you said don't acknowledge their existence. Kinda couldn't help that. Cool. Yep. Let me guess. God did not forgive you. Yep. Got that much.
In other news, a car crash resulted in the death of a grandfather and an infant child. Authorities reported that the car swerved off the road and crashed into a tree. The only survivor was the grandmother of the infant child. Although she suffered major injuries, she is currently in stable condition. Authorities also reported that the grandfather was driving the vehicle and that alcohol might have been involved in the incident.
Okay. I think we might be hung because if we're here with people, other people God did not forgive me, makes me a little concerned. Yeah. Well, what I'm wondering is I wonder if this God did not forgive me is supposed to be the grandfather. Because if the grandfather was drinking, drove, and got in a car wreck that killed the baby, maybe that's what that's in reference to. I cannot read that. They never answered any of my letters or my calls. I waited an eternity to hear the sound of their voices. Okay, that's locked. Still, we walk over here. Nope. Excited for more lore, yep. Still nada. Is that this phone? No, that's not that phone. Or maybe it is that phone. Found it a little distant. I guess it is this phone. You're behind me, aren't you? I know. Nope. Okay. Got something to say, or we good? Hello? Okay. I think you're just gonna keep crying at me, so. Oh, this TV's back on. I wonder if it has more to say. Oh, I guess it never turned off. Can I turn it off? And achievement says, ignore the phone that constantly rings. Ah! That's all we had to do. It's not answer the phone, I guess. Be rude. Oh, I guess that's the end of that chapter. Okay, what do we got here? Dear Mother, hey, I know it's been a while since we last saw each other, but I just want to let you know that the delivery was successful. It's a perfectly healthy boy. We've named him James. He's absolutely adorable, and I can't wait for you to meet him. Take care. Your son, Neil.
I'm glad you made it through in one piece. Whatever you saw might have jogged your memory a bit, even though all of it occurred before you were born. Your parents, Neil and Sarah Young, had a son named Kevin. Your grandparents were looking after him when an unfortunate incident occurred.
Okay, so this is
After
before we
losing
were
your
born.
only son, your parents decided it would be best to create some distance between your grandmother. Although she tried her best to seek their forgiveness, the grief they felt was too painful. For a long time, they stayed
Oh,
out
no,
of
maybe
contact
the
with
thing we
your
just saw was grandmother.
After a few years, they had you, James Young. They still were quite distant with your grandmother, possibly afraid the same incident might happen again. I don't want to bore you too much with those details. There is something I require from you. For you to unlock more of your memories, you need to go deeper into God's basement. To do that, you need to retrieve a security card to get past the door to your right. Fortunately, there is one down the hallway to your left. Just follow it all the way down, past the area with the red lights, and it should be in a storage room filled with shelves.
Okay.
Once you retrieve it, bring it back and slide it across the panel next to the door.
Got it.
I know.
Why do I need luck? Why do I need luck? Visitors. Okay. Said past the red light, so that way. Okay. We can turn them all green, but it doesn't tell us what that does. Got it. So we might need that for something. Last night I had a dream. I was walking towards my son and his family. They looked so happy together. I yearned to be part of it. As I kept walking, they kept shrinking, becoming more and more distant. As I increased my pace, the space between us exponentially increasing till they disappear. I haven't seen them since the accident. My son writes me every now and then, but I'll never answer any of my calls. I've heard his voice in years. I haven't heard his voice in years. He recently had another child, adorable baby boy. I desperately wish to see him. My son wrote to me saying couldn't wait for us to meet. I pray he keeps his word. You can see. On the shelves. Okay. Is there some sort of pattern that I need to do? Okay, I can get them all to light up, but oh, maybe it's this. So if we're going from the top, it'd be 2, 4, 6, like that. No, I'm not sure what it wants from me here. I see the monitor, right? Like I see the creature at the end of the monitor there. One here, and we need the card for there. Hey, operator. Put a puzzle here with no explanation. No. I can't crouch. There's nothing in that. Nothing there. Do I need to, like, push a button, see which one, like... Okay, that one stayed lit. That open the door? Okay, so it stays lit. Okay, so it is the puzzle I thought it was. Hey, Shiny, how you doing? It is an order puzzle. So it should. What should happen here is if you get it wrong, it should immediately go out, not time to go out. Okay, so that... Yeah, see, it shouldn't have that time on it. It should just immediately go out. Okay, so that's correct. So it's 5-1. Say, yeah. So 5-1-4. Nope. 5-1-3. Nope. 5-1-2. Okay. 5-1-2. 6. 4. Great. There we go. That's hilarious. So, so they tried to hide the creature by just moving the creature into the wall. However, on this camera, you can tell that they didn't move the creature completely into the wall. So the creature's still hanging out of the wall. That's funny. Yeah, so if you do a puzzle like this, by the way, you want to design it to where if they're incorrect, make a noise is really good. Audio cues, very helpful. From a game design standpoint, have an audio cue that tells them like that they've got it wrong. Also, make it immediately apparent that they've got it wrong. Those are the two things you want to do with any puzzle. Make it immediately apparent that they've done something incorrect, and also an audio cue is very, very helpful. Alright, Grandma. You still hanging out down here? Okay, now it looks like they fully shoved her back in the wall. Alright, looking for a key card. You're hiding from Granny? No. We are in quote-unquote God's basement. And there is some entity where you're not supposed to interact with that we have seen down here. And we're assuming it is our grandmother. But we are not sure why. Oh, I hear crying. No, thank you. Bye, Granny. Don't turn around. Basically, so far we are in God's basement. We don't know why. And the story we've been told is that our grandfather, our grandmother, and our at the time was our baby brother were in a car wreck. The grandfather and baby brother died. Grandmother survived. Our parents then distanced themselves from grandmother because of the incident. Then they had us years later, and now we're in this basement for some reason, learning our history. All we know is that we're dead, according to one of the signs on the wall. We're supposed to trust this person called the operator, who is telling us to do tasks in God's basement. That's all we know. There was writing on the wall in one of the rooms that said, "God did not forgive me." So, Take that how you will. There's blood and a bunny rabbit. Dear Mother, how have you been? Been pretty hectic over here, balancing family and work. James is about half a year old now. He's growing healthily. I have some bad news. I might have to relocate to another state because of my job the next few months. I don't know for sure yet, but there's a high probability of relocation. I know I promised to let you see your grandson, and I really intended to let you see him, but it's difficult to find the time. I'll keep you updated on everything. So, also, this rabbit is a free Unity asset, because this rabbit shows up in all sorts of indie games, including Phasmophobia, which just celebrated 5 years recently. Blue Book. Yep.
In other news, a car crash resulted in the death of a grandfather and an infant child. Authorities reported that the car swerved off the road and crashed into a tree. The only survivor was the grandmother of the infant child. Although she suffered major injuries, she is currently in stable condition. Authorities also...
Okay, flashing light warning, sorry. I didn't realize they were going to do this, okay. Looks like the flashing light stopped. Oh, look who it is. It's Grandma. Maybe she has cookies. Oh no, the light's behind us. Oh cool, the light's following us. Oh, there's a box. Can we open the box? No? Okay, can we open the door? It won't let me interact with the box. Or the bunny. There's something else I'm missing? Oh, the box is jumping. Nice. Watch the black box as it begins to move. Alright, Grandma hallway, let's go. Oh, this is a...
James, it has been some time since I've last seen you around.
Really?
By now, you should have some idea of the history between your grandmother and your parents. After the accident occurred, there was extreme tension between them. It was understandable given the context of the situation. Your parents wanted some space due to the grief they were experiencing.
Okay.
Your grandmother, dealing with the guilt and loneliness, longed for support and forgiveness, something your parents did not grant. I promise we'll get to your part of the story soon. To satisfy your curiosity for a bit, I'll tell you a small truth about God's basement. God's basement is a place to reflect on your past life. That statement might be a bit broad, but I'll tell you more as you continue your journey.
Keep saying that.
As for this area, there seems to be a locked door with a keypad. I'm
Seems to
sure
be?
you'll figure it out.
I can literally see it.
I'll see you around soon.
Okay.
Good luck.
Figure it out. Yeah, no, I get it. I need a code. Alright. Back into the fray, I guess. Yep. Yep. Time to get ambushed by Grandma. One of 6. Oh, Grandma's turning into Slender Man. Got it. Granny and the 6 pages. Got it. Oh, I know the code. I do not need the rest of the pages. Technically, I could leave. But I want to know what this note says, and we probably are in for a jump scare, so let's go ahead and finish the note. Technically, if you see down there, it says 0911. So, I'm pretty sure that's the code, but... Door gonna slam on us? No? Okay, put it. Yep. There we go. Dear son, it's been a couple months since I received a letter from you. I was curious about James. How's my grandson doing? Get to see him. I've been so lonely lately. You said your last letter you'd let me see him, that you would keep me updated. I'm sure you're very busy with your career along with raising your child. Don't leave without telling me. I just might die of heartbreak. Don't get to see you all before you leave. Okay. Oh. That was it. Okay. Hey, the bunny's back. How you doing, buddy friend? Yeah, that door doesn't open. Granny, you down this hallway too? Oh. Can you see him? Hello? I can hear the door. I can't interact with this, by the way. There's no... And the bunny is looking that way. Oh. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Guess we're doing the PT thing, huh? Oh, there you are. Hi, Grandma. No? Okay. Oh, there you are. Hi. You can open this door now? Hello? I hear her. I heard her. Oh sound like slapping feet. Just whoosh against the wood floor. Maybe back this way? Yeah, no, it's like, come on, man. Just let me go. I think it wants me to, like, oh. Oh. Granny's having a rave. Granny, you know you gotta put on the beats first, right? You can't just turn the lights on. Huh. Alright. Cool. Was there any Alright, well this light's flashing, so I guess I'm gonna go this way. Nope. Can't go that way. Got it. To the right. Nope. To the left. Nope. Forward. Nope. Surrounded by darkness. Doesn't that just about figure? Alright. Grandma's gonna kill us in one of these hallways. Got it. That's how I run too. I don't go very far, but that's how I run too. Okay. Deep psychology. People will leave you alone. I mean, yeah.
James, I hope you're okay. That looked like it probably hurt. Good news is, this room looks relatively safe. I also have some more good news. You're going to be exploring your early childhood memories. For the most part, you were raised by your grandmother.
Ah.
A good chunk of your memories have manifested themselves in the form of journal entries.
Convenient.
Read those carefully as they represent your thoughts and emotions at the time. You probably thought you'd be stuck in that dimly lit, creepy office area forever. At least you're getting a change of scenery. God's basement tends to manifest itself in an unusual way. The more you remember about your childhood, the creepier things can get. Remember when I asked you to ignore anything unusual? Well, that was just a joke. It's obviously there for a reason. The only reason I said that was to frighten you. I find it quite amusing. Well, I should probably wrap this monologue up.
Okay.
Find more about your past. And one last thing. Good luck.
By the way, real crime scene emerged within a quiet suburban neighborhood. Two victims, Neil Young and Sarah Young, were viciously stabbed by an unknown assailant. Two parents leave an infant son behind. Authorities do not have a lead, and it was reported each victim was stabbed over 30 times, resulting in the face of the victim to be horribly distorted and mangled. This brutal crime will shock the local community. Grandma murdered our parents and stole us. Can you hear it? The white noise. A sound of silence. Nice. It shows an open door. Is it zooming in on the open door? Oh, it is zooming in on the open door. It's very hard to tell. Apparently, Grandma took a cinematography class. All she learned was slow zoom. This is a full game. This is a full game. Came out in, like, 2018. Grandma's been acting strange lately. She seems to be very forgetful and misplaces a lot of her belongings, like her car keys and medication. It's my birthday last week, but I think she forgot that too. I'm going to middle school pretty soon, so I'm pretty nervous about that. I hope she starts getting better soon, I think is what that said. Yeah, okay. Acting strange again. Recently, I've been finding random letters on all the pictures and paintings we have hung up. There's always one red letter randomly drawn inside a painting. I asked her about it. She said she doesn't remember writing the letters. Okay, so we have to look at all the paintings. It's supposed to be a red letter in all the paintings. I don't see a single red letter. Okay. Those are all the same painting. Good. Uh-huh. Yep. Says there's a red letter hidden in all the paintings. I don't see a single thing. Are you lying to me? These paintings are exactly the same and there's nothing in them. It's like a picture from someone's backyard. Random letters on all the pictures and paintings we've hung up. Oh, it says on. You guys see a letter, just shout it out to me, because I ain't seeing no letters on nothing. This is the same picture. Oh, M. Okay. M. Okay, so we have to look for very specific paintings, I guess? Okay, we found M. I'm guessing it's gonna spell like murder or something. Okay, that letter was pretty obvious. Oh, there it is. E. Nothing on any of that. Yeah, it definitely spells murderer. Let's see, another red letter. There it is. You. Oh, you gotta be like right on it. Okay. So I don't know if they're gonna put any on the ones up here, or if they're gonna put any on like some up here, right? Like, are they gonna put any on this? Because it says like, all the paintings, right? Because see, there's like this painting here. There's this painting here. And I don't know if I have to like leave and come back to get it to reset. Braining my neck trying to find these letters. Is there another painting or something? Too bad this doesn't like give you a hint. But then again, I don't know how to give you a hint because there's just 9 of these paintings. I can't believe it. Like, it should be very obvious because it's just a red letter on these things, but I'm just not seeing it. Okay, apparently it was on this. I guess I just need to scan the paintings. Oh, so what did it give us? Yeah. Yeah, there definitely was not a red letter there. So I think we're just... Okay, so we just need another R somewhere. I think this might be like a weird bug. Because there's definitely not red... Oh, there it is. Wait, why does it need a D? Hello? I see it there. Ah, it is bugged. Say, we already have the D for this word. We need the R. So yeah, it's bugged. That's why we're not seeing the letters. So we just need to scan the painting until we get the other R. There it is.
In other news, last weekend, a brutal
Murder.
crime was committed in a quiet suburban neighborhood. The two victims were a young couple, recently turned parents, that were viciously stabbed while sleeping inside their bedroom. Authorities reported that the bodies were mutilated to the point of being unrecognizable. The two also left behind an infant son. Currently, there are no suspects or leads as to who committed the murder, but authorities are adamantly investigating the situation.
Grandma. Grandma. Why you murder people? Grandma, why you a murderer? Something really strange is happening to Grandma. She doesn't seem, wow, doesn't has two apostrophes, just to make sure. Doesn't seem like herself. She feels very distant and less lively. She doesn't enjoy talking as much as she used to. She is very quiet. She's always thinking about something. Unfortunately, her habit of forgetting things isn't getting better. She frequently forgets to take her medication, so I have to remind her very often. I hope her condition improves. Okay. Hey, Grandma. Hey, Grandma. Grandma. Open the door, Grandma. Open the door, Grandma. Open the door. Ah, there's drawers. Welcome home? I don't feel very welcome. Open the door. Thank you. Hey. That's behind me. I wonder if there's something behind me. It still says welcome home. That door is still locked. Oh. Grandma's back there now. Hi, Grandma. Are you gonna be back there when we turn around? Grandma. Are you a demon? I guess we gotta zoom in on the TV.
Entry number 8. Recently, my grandmother has been acting strange. I've been waking up in the middle of the night hearing her crying. I usually find her pacing back and forth
Oh,
aimlessly.
Grandma gone.
She usually won't even notice I'm there until I make my presence known.
Slap her.
After she notices me, she gives me this blank expression, then walks away back into her bedroom. Sometimes I'll press my ear against her door, and I'll hear a distorted version of this classical song she always listens to. Although these incidents are rare, they still creep me out. It happens about once every few months. Hopefully she gets better.
Wow. Now there's a lot of welcome home stickers. I feel very welcome now. Not. Well, that lamp's on the ground. Nope. Okie dokie. Door to the right, door to the left. Empty painting. The right is locked. The left is open. Forward is locked. Left it is then. Red towel. Locked. Entry. I'm starting my first year of high school. I'm pretty nervous about it. I'm excited at the same time. My grandmother is recently diagnosed with Parkinson's. Diagnosis didn't really faze her. She seems a lot less lively these days. Just listening to the radio or TV most of the time. I try to talk to her about current events and casual topics, but her responses are more bleak and dull than they used to be. I wouldn't describe her aura as depressing or gloomy. More precise word would be hollow or empty. It's almost as if part of her has drifted off somewhere and has yet to return. She would have episodes like this before, but the frequency and length of episodes seem to be increasing. Grandma's gone hollow. She forgot to feed the dark soul. She gone hollow. Is that just a handful of... Oh, it's a plant. I would say, is that a handful of, like, barbecue chips? What is that? It's a plant. Is hollow grandma in here? Grandma, you gotta feed your dark soul. Alright, I guess we're just... Ah, we're looping. Got it. No page this time, though. There's a page there. James, I'm sorry to bother you, but I've misplaced my keys somewhere. Could you please find them for me? Just place them next to this note once you've found them. Grandma. Are they in the room with the towel, Grandma? Oh. Today I landed a part-time job tutoring my neighbor's kid. I can't get a real job yet since I'm only 14, but at least this will give me some kind of income. Regarding my grandmother's health, there's been no major changes. She remains uninterested and perpetually distant whenever I interact with her. Something kind of strange happened today. I caught her having a conversation with the radio. The thing is, the radio was off the whole time. She was arguing back and forth with it as if it was a real human being. It kind of reminded me of the crazy people you have to deal with when taking public transit. It's kind of messed up that I found it just a tiny bit funny. I'll probably sent to hell for laughing at it. God's basement. I couldn't help it. I have sick sense of humor. I love her to death, and it pains me to see her deteriorate to like this. I hope she gets better. Okay, so we, oh, there's the keys. Gonna use the keys to open this up. Oh. Find Grandma's keys. I didn't open the door. Grandma's radio. Can you open the door for us? Guess the red door is probably open now. What does it say? Are you lost? No. The door is locked. I ain't lost. Are you lost? Well, that's... Okay, looks like we can go back that way. Just the same note. No. Okay. Last night I caught my grandmother staring at the painting in the middle of the hallway. It was in the middle of the night and her eyes were locked onto the picture. It was a kind of eerie seeing her entranced by it. After staring at it for at least half an hour, she walked off casually. I take a closer look at the painting. It was completely blank. Literally blank piece of paper she was staring at. It has some good news. I earned a raise for my tutoring job. I have started tutoring another neighbor's kids to earn more money. I wrapped my first year of high school, so I'm glad to have something to keep me busy besides taking care of my grandmother. Okay, so she's staring at a portrait in the middle of the hallway. This one? Forgive. Okay. What about this one? Forgive. Okay. Is that going to be like a password or something? He never forgive. He will never forgive you, is what it's supposed to say. Okay. So it's he will never forgive you. Yep. Nope, not that way. Thought I heard her crying. I did this way. Guessing the radio is eventually going to talk to us, right? Woke up to the sound of plates breaking. I dashed out of my room to see what was happening. I saw her in the kitchen repeatedly trying to carry a plate from the kitchen to the dining room. While walking over to the dining room, she would drop the plate, repeat the process. Walked over to her and guided her back to the bedroom. I set up a small barricade so she wouldn't be able to get out so easily. Maybe she could really hurt herself. Maybe I should set up a barricade so she couldn't get out of her room at night. I'm in the middle of my second year of high school now, and it's really hard to balancing school, friends, and taking care of my grandmother. Most of the time, I have to turn down social events because I have to stay home, make sure she doesn't do anything crazy. Okay, so I need to plate from the kitchen to the dining room. Okay, well, those rooms don't exist here. So Can't go back that way. Okay. Oh, so those rooms don't exist here, so I can't really carry a plate if that's the puzzle, but that was not the puzzle. The puzzle was wait for her to smash plate on ground. Uh-huh. Yep. Ah, I see. Okay, that door is open now. So we go this way. Can't see anything because this flashlight is garbage. Okay. Guessing we're gonna get another note here. Oh, there's the... Let's say 12? 12 new bedroom hints. Grandma set herself on fire. Is that what's going on here? I think it's eventually going to be on this one, right? That painting? Can't turn the radio off. But to wait for the song? Can't go that way. Okay, so I have to do something in this room. Can't interact with that. Oh, I think the music's getting distorted. So we just gotta stand here. Would you hurry up? Hurry up. Punch the radio. Just bam. Just throw a haymaker. Right hook. Kick it. Punt the chair. See, what would have been really cool is if they had to where, like, they have something that, like, causes you to come over here, and then when you, like, turn around, if you could see, like, Grandma at the end of the hallway, like, right there. Or if you could see, like, the shadow of Grandma in the chair, but you can't actually see Grandma. Like, that could be cool. Like, you could have had a really cool effect here. Because the light's coming off the chair, you could have, like, the shadow of Grandma. What am I missing? Like, the light's here. There's this light. I thought maybe... Do you collect too much stuff? Home sweet home. Can't interact with anything. There's no, like, note or anything that I can see. Well, let me go through here. It won't let me turn out the candle. Close candle. Oh, okay. Won't let me interact with the chair. Won't let me interact with the radio. That door does nothing. Alright, hint time. Because I don't know. Stare into the... Okay, I would... See, this is, again, the delayed feedback is... I was staring into this picture frame. Yeah. In this place, he does not dwell. Hell. God is not present. No one will help. Hell is here. Yes, we're in hell. Okay, God's basement is hell. Who would have guessed? Yeah, see, this... What they should have done is the longer you do this, because this light changing more red is not, like... It's not good enough. Also, if someone is red-green colorblind, they're not going to be able to tell, by the way. So this is anti-accessibility, just sit on the top of that. So if you have colorblind issues, doesn't help. What they should have done is they should have this, like, fade in over time. So just have it to where it starts kind of like maybe blurred or just not there, and then slowly, the more you stare at it, it like gets like darker and darker until it's fully present there. Like, just something. Like, they do have the hint system, which... Hell is here. Again, just little quality of life stuff. Hi, Grandma. What's this say? Hi, Grandma. You want a hug? No? Grandma didn't want a hug. Ah. She wants a hug, but that direction. Sounds like she went behind me. We're in hell. Who would have guessed? But yeah, just feedback. Feedback is important when you're designing a game. It's just feedback to the player. You know. And again, think of things like color blindness. Oh, when you're designing color-based things, think about things like color blindness. Oh, we're still here, I guess. Because, like, again, the color, the light getting more red does not help if you're red-green colorblind. I'm not red-green colorblind, but, like... But again, they do have this hint system, which I think is good. Having a hint system so if anybody gets stuck for any reason, they can always be like, oh, okay, let's go ahead and move on, but... Starting to worry about the future. Grandma's condition continues to get worse. Is she going to stay like this for the rest of her life? I hope not. What will happen if I have to leave for college? What is she going? Who is going to take care of her? The way it is now, I can barely leave home for 2 seconds without her breaking something. Clearly, third year of high school, I still have a little bit of time to think about that hopefully I'll come up with a solution later. Okay, we got a long lit hallway on both sides. Oh, are we gonna have to play like Ring Around the Rosie with Grandma now? Here's someone stepping. Ah, hiccups. Okay. What are we looking at? Okay, it looks like the hallway, the middle light is off. Maybe that's what we have to do. Okay, never mind. That door doesn't open. Okay, so I can't get right up on it, but I can. Okay. So maybe I go back. Nope. Nope. Can't even interact with that door. Good. Interact with the TV. Nope. Oh, there's a note here. Just entered my senior year of high school. It's starting to think about what happens after high school. I recently applied for the scholarship. It'll basically pay all of my expenses, to include tuition, room and board, and everything else. My biggest issue right now is my grandmother. Don't really have any relatives or anyone to care for her besides me. Will I have to take care of her for the rest of my life? Answer seems to be yes. Her condition keeps getting worse and worse. I know this is selfish, but I feel quite bitter about this current situation. I keep having to make sacrifices for her sake. Hopefully, I'll think of a solution sooner rather than later. Oh, hi. Grandma's on the TV. Hi, Grandma. You're a movie star. She's coming closer. You're gonna jump out the TV on us. You're gonna pull a ring and come out of the TV? No? Okay. Nope. 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 Ah, so it's open now. Okie dokie. Okay. Hear crying. Are you lost? How can you be lost if you have nowhere to go? Are you scared? Are you frightened? Are you without hope? Are you... what? Without God?
Are you lost? How can you be lost if you have nowhere to go? Are you scared?
Oh, shut up. So do we end up killing our grandmother? Is that what the thing is? Our grandmother killed our parents for us, and then we end up killing our grandmother because we wanted to live our life, and then something ends up happening and we die? Is that what we're getting here? Is the vicious cycle of murder and selfishness? Is that where we're going with this story? Our parents couldn't trust our grandmother because of the accident, and then great news. I was one of the recipients of the scholarship. Downside though, I can only use it on certain colleges. They gave me are all too far away to commute on a daily basis from my house and the college. So I definitely have to move. The problem is no one will be able to take care of grandmother. I just can't leave her. I can't cook or buy groceries. Oh, she can't cook or buy groceries or do anything, but I'm practically her caretaker rather than her grandson. If I leave her, she'll probably wind up dead from starvation or some sort of accident. It feels like I don't have any options here. Yeah, so I'm guessing that's what's going to happen, is we're going to end up killing grandma. There's a boarded up door over here. Yeah, I think that's what happens, is either we leave grandma to die, or we kill grandma because we want to go to, because remember, we wake up in an office, right? So I'm guessing something happens and then we like die at work or something, but then we go to hell basically because we let our grandmother die. Okay, we need a hammer. Which is, it is an interesting commentary, right, though, right? Because it's like, when does it stop being a responsibility of, like, the children to take care of the parent? When is it stop being a responsibility of the parent to take care of a child? Like, what happens in the cases of disabilities, right? Like, what if the child has disabilities? What if the parent has disabilities? Like, what in those cases, is there ever a limit? Okay, there's got to be a hammer around here somewhere, right? Like, what do you do in those cases? Oh. Are you leaving me? Are you going to leave me too? Even though the subtitles say, "Are you leaving me too?" There are 3 loud knocks next to the barricaded door. Because it's weird, because society, like, at least I know in America, like, our society is not built for dealing with those structures of, like, you know, what happens with disabled parents, disabled children, when, like, the parents can't take care of them when they become adults, right? Like, when you have disabled children who move into adulthood, it's like, if the parents can no longer take care of them, what happens to them? You know, or when they move into being elderly adults, you know, like, it's like, okay, well, they don't have children to take care of them, or they don't have family to take care of them. It's like, okay, well, if you don't have systems in place, what happens? Oh, that hammer had blood on the head, so I'm guessing we killed Grandma with a hammer. But you know, it's one of those things that's like, in theory, what would happen is you would have a, you know, part of society that would be built to take care of those people, but it's not always the case, right? Unfortunately. So it's like, okay, well then if you're put in that situation, you know, how long is it your responsibility? And some people would say forever, and other people would disagree with that, right? And also people would have different answers in the case of like parent to child and child to parent, right? So some people would say like, okay, well, if you have a disabled child, then as a parent, then the responsibility is forever. But if it's the other way around, like child to parent, then the responsibility is, you know, maybe 5 years, 10 years. You know, maybe there's a limit to it. So it's always interesting to have those conversations. Hi, Grandma. Sorry, the hammer's not in the drawer. I can't. Oh. You go disappearing like that. I can't really help you. Oh, did Grandma get us? I guess she got us. Oh, is there like two endings where one where Grandma gets us and one where you get Grandma? That'd be interesting.
James, it's been a while since our last encounter. That was a lot of information to absorb. I hope you got most of it, but I'll try to summarize the best that I can.
Yes, Grandma murdered our
You were
parents.
trying your hardest to get by high school while
We
also
graduated
taking
high
care
school,
of
and then we
your
had to figure out what to do with
grandmother,
Grandma, so we killed her.
along with holding a part-time
Or she
job.
killed us. One of the two.
At the end of high school, you had amazing grades and received a full-ride scholarship. The only problem was you would have to leave your grandmother to attend college. She raised you all by herself after your parents passed away. It tore you up inside, knowing that you would have to abandon her to move forward in your life.
Yep.
Slowly but surely, her condition kept deteriorating, to the point where it was an extreme burden to provide care for her. You had to make a choice, abandon her and move on with your life, or throw away a full-ride scholarship and sacrifice your potential to take care of her. Are you ready to find out what choice you made? This is kind of exciting, isn't it? Well, I won't make you wait any longer. You chose to stay.
Interesting.
You felt that it would be wrong to abandon her, especially when she needed you the most. She took care of you when you were abandoned, right?
Until you find out that
You
she
were
killed
just
your parents.
returning the favor. If you haven't noticed, this area represents your old job. The one you worked while taking care of your grandmother after you graduated. First thing you should probably do is sign in. Enter the door to your left and find your ID card. I'll speak to you soon. Good luck.
Okay, so we took care of her, but I still think we end up killing her, right? Because, remember, we saw in the thing that it said, he will never forgive you, right? Which leads me to believe that we can take a bag for some reason. I guess it's a lunch. Numbers of boxes organized. Oh, I see. Okay. This is our job.
James, are you having fun organizing those boxes?
Yes. Yes, I am. Are you having fun being the devil? Let's be honest, that's who you are.
Are those boxes heavy? It must get pretty tiring doing this 8 hours a day, 5 days a week.
I can't crouch. I wonder if it's actually going to let us do all 50. Also, to be honest, like, yeah, it'd be a tiring job, but, like, there's a lot worse jobs. There's a lot more tiring jobs, too. Like, honestly, if you put on some...
Hey, I think you missed one. Look over there, in the corner.
You, put on some headphones, put on some music or a podcast or something, and you just go, you know? You do what you gotta do. Get paid. How life works sometimes. I wonder if
Does it get tiring? Doing this job day after day, only to come home having to care for your elderly grandmother.
pays the bills. Very curious what they're trying to get at here. This is going to be another speech. Yep.
Do you ever feel regret? Maybe you should have just taken the scholarship and ran off.
The interesting thing is, like, I don't think, like, some people would obviously, like, frown upon them making that decision, you know, our character making the decision to, like, leave his grandmother for the scholarship. But, like, at the end of the day, like, it would have been their decision to do that.
Think of all the potential you wasted. Was it worth it? Doing the same thing every single day.
I mean, you go to college and you get a job and do the same thing every day. It's just usually a higher paying job. That doesn't change. Don't know what he's really getting at there. Also, there's a lot more than 50 objects here.
Are you anxiously waiting to get home, or do you find this job more tedious than taking care of her?
It's interesting because, like, again, I think it's kind of about that concept of, like, is there really a right decision on, like, taking care of family when it comes to that kind of stuff? Because, again,
It might seem like I'm trying to belittle you, but I'm just relaying the thoughts you had at the time.
you know, like, some people would fault them for leaving, some people wouldn't fault them for leaving. Like, I think it's really a personal opinion on that. Maybe there is only 50. No, there's definitely more than 50. I'm looking at the items around here, and I wonder if it's going to automatically, like, once we hit 50.
It's an interesting concept, isn't it? Sacrificing the future for the present. Sacrificing all that potential to have a clear conscience.
Yeah, say that question.
Was it worth it?
Trying to see. Is there another bag around here? I don't see another bag. Oh, there it is. There's got to be at least one more bag, right?
Wow, great job, James. together again tomorrow.
So let's stack all 50 boxes, but there's definitely not. That's not all. I'm gonna see if there's an achievement for doing everything. No, there's no achievement for doing everything. Okay, so we might as well leave. There's our shoes. Just leave it. You know, you have a grandmother with Alzheimer's. Or Parkinson's. Parkinson's, sorry, not Alzheimer's. Parkinson's. Who can't take care of themselves. And not only do you leave a knife on the counter, you leave it blade down. What? And on top of that, you leave the blades out. Like, this should be in this, and that should be somewhere where she can't reach it. Jesus. I'm just gonna hide in the closet now. Okay. Down into the basement. We got a hammer. What do we need a hammer for? Are we gonna go bludgeon Grandma to death now? Oh, what's down here? O'clock. What do we need the hammer for? Sorrow. Building barricade. Yikes. Okay, can't go in the basement. Got it. Can't leave. We need a saw now? Nope. Nope, nope, okay. Knife? Nope. Ah. Clean up broken plate. Hide kitchen knife under bed. Emails, nail. Okay. Clean up any broken plates. Hide kitchen knife under bed. Check emails on phone. Okay. Kitchen knife under... Said the under the bed? Under the bed. Nice. Broken plates. What about the phone in a second? Turn off lights. Go to bed. Okay, so let's check the emails on the phone. Fortunately, you've declined our scholarship program. Thank you for applying. We hope successful in the future. Okay. So we applied for a scholarship again and didn't get it. Okay, how do we turn off the lights? Lights. Light switch. Guess there's no light switch here. Guess that one just stays on. Okay. Turn off the lights. So where's the hall light? But I guess it's all the way over here. Usually they'd have one at the end of the hall too, but I guess not. Okay. Okay. Something's supposed to be happening. Oh. Yeah, she can't get out of her room because we nailed it shut. Makes sense. That's probably how she dies. That would make sense. Would make sense. Sorry, what time is it? Still the same time. Oh, she got out. Oh, but she probably fell down the stairs into the basement, right? Nope, okay. Wait, can we grab our knife? Grab your knife. No? Also, I love how it's like the boards came off, but the door's not open. It's like, cool. Grab another knife? Nope. Alright, time to just headbutt her. Just right in the jaw. Nope, into the basement. No. Grab the saw. The box. Nope. Grandma, where'd you go? Where'd you go, Grandma? Do you sneak up into the basement? Nope. Where'd you go, Grandma? Are you in the bathroom? No. Why would you be in there? Clean up the plate. Are you in here? Oop. I'm gonna hide. Grandma, get this. No? Okay. Can't turn the lights on. Can't go out the back door. Might have to use a hint here because I'm not sure what we're supposed to do. Wonder if Grandma was supposed to get us or something. Oh, no, there's a note on the table. Okay. Pain, are you full of it? Patience, are you out of it? When will her/your cross out your suffering end? Okay.
Pain. Are you full of it? Patience. Are you out of it? James.
Sounds like a drug
Your
commercial.
suffering ends.
Pain, are you full of it?
You
Patience,
want
are you out of it?
to
Try, you know.
Not for her sake, but for your own. You yearned for her death, not because her suffering would cease. It was because yours would cease as well.
Okay. I mean, those two things can be one and the same. Like, she can also not want to suffer anymore, right? Like, grab the knife. Alright, I guess we're... Oh, what the hell? Today I found my laptop broken. Ah, I left her alone for just a few minutes when I was in the bathroom. I guess she walked in the bedroom and had an episode. I'll have to drain my savings in order to replace it. Wow. Yeah, I guess it's a fancy laptop, but... I guess that was the last straw. Having to use the savings to get to finish the or to fix the laptop or get a new one.
Feel the resentment pulsating through your veins? Do you feel the last breath of patience exiting your body? Do you feel the rage welling up, overflowing, displacing empathy, sympathy, and love? Do you hear it? It's calling you. A way out. Follow it. Let it guide you.
The rage? Despite all the rage, I'm still a rat in a cage? No? Pretty sure it's the basement. Yep. Okay. Ah. Couple brutally murdered. I did something unspeakable. I killed them. I murdered them both. I didn't know what to do. I had nothing left to live for. I'm so sorry.
Your grandparents were involved in an accident that killed your grandfather and your infant brother.
They never answered my letters or calls. I waited an eternity to hear the sound of their voices.
Your parents couldn't help but put the blame on her.
Okay.
With no family or friends left, living a hopeless and bleak
Yeah,
existence.
so that's her admittance of guilt that she killed them.
With your parents out of the way, she could raise you all by herself.
Yep.
Her desire was selfish and evil. That was all you needed. A way to justify her death. A way to break the burden of taking care of her. Do you remember what you did? I'll walk you through it once more, just in case you've forgotten.
Crash. Okay. So yeah. So Grandma killed them. And I'm guessing, are we supposed to have this thing at the end where we're like, oh, we're supposed to forgive Grandma or not forgive Grandma? But I guess we killed her without... Get the knife, get the new radio, get the phone. Place the knife on her bed, replace the old radio, place the phone on the table outside the door, wait outside her room. Get the knife, the new radio, and the phone. The knife, new radio, and phone. Okay, the knife is on her bed, radio and phone on the table outside the door. So the knife on her bed. Replace the radio. It said phone on the table outside the door.
Yes, I'm talking to you. Are you listening to me? I know that I might seem suspicious, but for now, I'm going to need you.
So we did an operator. So we made her kill her. Okay. So we made her use the knife on herself, is what that is. Because she was talking to the radio, right? Remember? You heard the radio from before. So we essentially were the operator for Grandma. I mean, if she's as old as frail as they were making her out to be, like, she wouldn't have to do this much. See, but what's interesting is, I guess we still have to establish why we died. Like, obviously we went to hell, but we haven't established why we died. Maybe we get in a car wreck ourselves or something.
James, you murdered her. You knew about her delusions. She always talked about the man in the radio, so you decided to become that character. You replaced the old radio and then played an audio file telling her to stab herself repeatedly with a knife.
Yep.
You knew she was delusional and had episodes of schizophrenia. She followed your instructions and eventually bled to death due to her self-inflicted injuries. Since all the evidence pointed to a suicide, you weren't charged with anything. You finally got what you wanted. You were finally free. You might be wondering how exactly you ended up dead. Well, for the first few months, you lived your life carefree.
Let's say we have to establish how we died.
You actually enjoyed life to some extent, not being tied down by an ill relative. But eventually, that all came crashing down. It started off with brief, horrific, gruesome nightmares. Visions of her stabbing herself endlessly, blood gushing out of her wounds, flooding your mind with blood-red guilt. Slowly, these nightmares leaked into your daily life. You'd see her out of the corner of your eye, whether you were driving, walking down the street, or at work. Even though you killed her, she never really left. She lived in your mind and haunted you every day until you eventually couldn't fall asleep. Every time you closed your eyes, even for the briefest of moments, she'd manifest in your subconscious. Eventually, you went to the hospital and you were prescribed sleep medicine, but that only suppressed the issue. Slowly, your body adjusted to the medicine and you needed to increase the dose for the medicine to be effective. This process kept repeating until you were taking multiple times the recommended amount. You were addicted until one night you overdosed on sleep medication. Right now, in this moment, your physical body is currently in a hospital bed, hovering between the thin line of life and death. You're still probably wondering why you're here in God's basement. I'll finally tell you who I am and what this place really is.
You're the devil and this is hell?
God's basement is a realm for those who have committed great sin, but are still redeemable. The individuals
so purgatory.
that live in God's basement relive their own versions of hell, allowing them to reflect on their life and watch their slow descent into evil. Their resentment, hate, bitterness, and jealousy accumulate until those emotions manifest themselves through atrocious acts, yours being murder. You were backed into a corner, watching your life slowly pass you by. All those opportunities you sacrificed. All that potential wasted. You became bitter and resentful. Many could sympathize with you. Many might have even done the same. You were hopeless, and it felt like you were inside a living hell. I am called the Operator. I am an entity that manifests in God's basement. I manifest myself in different ways depending on the person. My job is to guide the person inside God's basement and allow them to relive their life from a different perspective. In your case, I manifested with many characteristics resembling the man in the radio. Hopefully this explanation cleared everything up.
Yeah, that about wraps it up.
You're still probably wondering what happens now that you have all your memories. I mentioned earlier that God's basement are for those who are still redeemable. Even though you committed an atrocious sin, you were trapped in a hopeless existence. Also, the person you killed wasn't really your grandmother. She was a shell of her former self. Your grandmother died long ago. Part of you wanted to see her.
I don't like that as a justification. We'll talk about that. Cruel and merciful, we'll talk about that, yeah.
Second chance at life. Pretty soon you're going to wake up in a hospital bed out of your drug-induced coma. Learn to live with what you did. The feelings of guilt, paranoia, and pain will never completely go away. James, make the most out of life, and be grateful for this second chance. One last thing.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Good luck. Yeah. It's interesting. Like, we'll see if there's anything else to this, but I legitimately I think this is actually a story that really needs to be talked about. Because this is a reality for a lot of people. There are a lot of people that have to stay, like, basically they have to give up on parts of their life to take care of, like, their parents or their loved ones. You know, they're not able to do anything outside of taking care of that loved one. Like, it happens with parents and children, it happens with children and parents, it happens with grandparents, like we see here. Like, this is like a normal occurrence. Now, of course, this occurrence happens more, like, especially in like America, for example, because we don't have systems in place to take care of people, you know, so that like in the case of this James should have been able to be like, hey, I'm graduating high school, I should be able to have a system take care of my grandmother so I can go to college and stuff like that, right? James as an adolescent shouldn't have been saddled with having to take care of an ailing grandmother, right? There should be systems in place to help with that. But unfortunately, like I said, in America, I can't speak for the rest of the world. There aren't. There legitimately just aren't systems, unless you have a lot of a lot of money, right? Unless you have a lot of money, and even in those cases, it's not always a guarantee. But this is legitimately something that people have to deal with every day, is taking care of people. And, you know, as someone who lives with chronic illness, Risha, I want to say thank you for playing the whole game. Pretty new at creating video games, so I hope the experience was bearable. Hopefully you enjoy the experience. Maybe someday create another one of my games, or if I'm able to release another one. Well, thank you. Well, there you go, Erebus. I think that was actually really well done. We didn't really run into any bugs. Well, we ran into one bug. I take that back. We ran into one bug with the paintings. The letters weren't showing up. And then one letter showed up when it didn't need to show up. So we did run into that, but it had the hint system. So if you ever got stuck, I think that was helpful. It had good accessibility settings outside of the red light changing. The puzzles were a little wonky, but for like a first game, I think this is good. It also told a really good story, and again, it talks about a thing that is a very real occurrence for a lot of people. I don't like the justification of like, that wasn't really your grandmother, that was a shell of her former self, because they are still people, right? Like, you don't ever want to say just because someone's suffering with an illness, even if it's a debilitating one, that they're not people anymore, right? You don't want to dehumanize people. So you have to be very careful when you're using, you know, those kinds of conversations or those kind of like talking points. Like, even though she was very, very like gone and like in the way of like psychologically speaking, physically speaking, she's still a person, right? Which it still accommodated the idea that like he still killed her. Right, but it used that line of like, she's a shell of her former self, which you have to be very careful of. You don't want to ever dehumanize people. But again, I think this is, and it didn't overuse jump scares. It had like a couple jump scares in there, with the plate, and then like the one where she's like, "Arr!" like it had a few jump scares, but it didn't overuse them. Like legitimately, I thought those were a pretty good experience. Like, it came out 2018, so this is like a 7-year-old experience. I'm pretty sure everybody's already played it by now. We'll have to see if this developer's made anything else, because I wouldn't mind seeing what else they have created. But it's got a very good discussion to be had on like, where is the point of, is it your responsibility to care for someone that is your elder, right? Your parents, your grandparents, an uncle, an aunt, you know, whatever that might be. Like, you know, obviously when you're a parent, that discussion gets a little different, because it's like, okay, well, if it's your kid, you know, is there ever a threshold where you're not supposed to be taking care of your kid if they're dealing with something debilitating, right? So, but from the other perspective of like, this is his grandmother, is there a point where it's just like, hey, grandma, you know, this is not my problem anymore. You know, I've got to go on with my life. You know, so it's interesting. It's interesting conversation, and that's again, this is part of the reason why we play horror games, is because they have these stories built into them. They approach them through like scares and hauntings and all of this stuff, but they have these messagings, and they talk about topics that are uncomfortable to talk about, but they're important to talk about. And I think this developer did a very good job of approaching this topic. Like I said, it had a little bit of a misstep there with the like shell of our former self, but it still kind of got along the idea of like, hey, where's that threshold? Where was it at the point where it was no longer James's responsibility to take care of his grandmother. Now, of course, the added thing of the grandmother killing the parents, that was a little rough, you know. That usually doesn't come into the equation for a lot of people. The idea that grandma killed the parents so that it could be with the grandchild, but like, but assuming the parents are gone and the grandparents are, you know, deteriorating, what do you do in that case? So, I think honestly, I think I'd give this game a pretty good overall. Mechanically, it's very much a walk and read kind of game, like walking horror game. Just read things, a little bit of interaction, like a few puzzles. Took about 2.5 hours. We did get all of the achievements. So let's see how much this game costs. $15. Yikes. I do not think I paid $15. I might have got this game for free. I'm gonna be honest. I do not think I paid $15 for this. $15 is way too high. It had a lot of really good it says a first-person narrative-driven single-player horror game. Honestly, I think it's a pretty good game. $15 is a way too high of an asking price. That is far too high for 2.5 hours. There are games that are considerably longer and can have considerably more original content, and cost considerably less than that. Yeah, yikes! That is a very high price. So for that price, I absolutely would not recommend that. I would wait for a deal. I would probably not pay more than $4 or $5 for that. But it says it's primarily a walking simulator. That is what the developer named this as, and I would agree. That's basically what it is. It does kind of like repeat itself very quite a bit early on, but then kind of gets into the story once you finally like get out of the office area for the first time. But yeah, overall, like I said, other than the price, I think it's a pretty good game, and it does talk about something that you don't see a lot of horror talk about, and I always like it when we get experiences like that. So that is going to do it for the playthrough of God's Basement. So if you enjoyed that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe over there on YouTube, and I will see you in the next playthrough. Bye-bye. All right, we're not done here on Twitch. We are going to do something else, and then I will make the video. I will move the video over to YouTube. Afterwards. So give me just a second. All right, just had to do that. So yeah, we're gonna do